Hello friends, and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm hoping we are about to finish our sew along for the Silverstone. I just about called it Silverman again. So guys, I am piecing the rows together. So far I only have these 3 rows thrown together, and if you recall from our last meeting, I was having troubles with my sashing being I think too short. But what I'm going to do is just go ahead and sew what I have already sashed together, and then we will add the sashing to the other pieces. This is my little tray that has my pieces that are not sashed yet, which I think it's only 2 pieces, which is good. I have some small pieces here that I can use for sashing if I need to, and I have this piece, and I have some extra pieces here. I think these were supposed to be for the long, but we're going to use what we have to use to get these put together, and if necessary, I can always contact my local quilt shop, get some more of this fabric, and we'll be good. But today I've been sitting here, I've been mulling over several. Well, I have a pattern that I really want to work, and no, it's not one that I'm already working on. Go figure, huh? And I really have the fabric that I want to use, but I don't have exactly what I need. Or I may have what I need and I just don't think it'll work. I'm going to have to definitely do a tester for that one. But and so I just decided I've really got to get to this and get something sewing today. I really wanted to sew, so it's like, okay, I've got the Silverstone, I can finish it. And I think I know why I want to call it the Silverman, because it's Robert Kaufman. Yeah, it's probably why I want to call it the Silverman. It's Robert Kaufman's Silverstone. So I'm making sure. Yeah, these have sashings on the top. Okay, so this is to have sashing on the top and bottom all the way through. So I don't know which is top, which is the bottom. It really does not matter. It does not affect it one way or another, which one it is. So I'm just going to get this up here, get my other piece here. The only thing that matters is if this piece doesn't have sashing, it has to attach to the sashing of this piece. So let's see here. Is this the one I want to sash it to? Or is this the one I want to... I have 2 pieces already done. That's why I'm... Oh, it wouldn't go that direction. It would go this direction. Let's see if we... Yeah, I think this may be a better one. Because if I use this one here, I'll have too many whites together in one location. So let me go ahead and I am going to pin. Remember last time I did realize that if I pinned these sashings to this sashing, they actually came out better. I did not take the other one apart. Let me see which one, what end I'm on. Oh, this is the one I need to take this one off. It doesn't really matter, but for sake of it being uniform, I'm going to go on and take it out, which will be fine. I mean, it's not really a big deal to me to take it out. That just means I get to sew on it a little longer. Even though I do want to get this one done, but you know, it don't have to be done until Christmas time, because that's when I'm going to use it. But yeah, this is going to be the better one to use because it's got better colors there. And I'm just going to go on and get my pins and put in my little pin cushion over here, because I have most of my pins in another project that I'm working on. And I need pins. I need a lot of pins. But I got to make sure not to be dropping them, because I'll be poking these things in my feet if I do that. And I can't be doing that. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a fabulous start to your weekend. I know I am having a great day. This is, of course, pre-recorded. It is pre-recorded early for you guys. I'm just making sure I'm evened up here on these. I think as long as I just get it close will be good. That it don't have to be exact. But that first one does not look real pretty. And I will take that one out because I do want it to be pretty. Am I stressing over it? No, I'm not. I got a kitty cat in here rubbing on everything now. So if y'all hear something, it's my kitty cat. What do you want, little one? It's a different kitty cat than what y'all are used to seeing. Little one, what are you doing, baby? He may want outside. But if he wants outside, he will let me know. Real short like. But, yeah, I don't really stress over things like this. But I do want it to, you know, look nice. If I take the time to sew it, I do want it to look nice. But is it a deal breaker? No, it's not. I just like sewing, and just the fact, that's why I'm working on this right now, because as I said, it's actually earlier in the week, and I just really want to sew, and I'm just have that dilemma about what fabrics to use with a pattern. And the best way to get over that dilemma is to work on something you already have going. And so that way you feel a sense of accomplishment. You've gotten something done. And I'm so excited to get this one done, because I love the Christmas colors. I love these fabrics. I think they're beautiful. I am using the Starberry by Corey Yoder. I had to think, is that the one I'm using on this? Yes, this is the Starberry by Corey Yoder. The pattern that I am wanting to make, well, let me start out. I have fabric that, and I'm trying to find a pattern, because I only got like a yard of each of the fabrics. That one looks like it's off a little bit. And my pattern that I thought, oh, this would be really pretty in, needs more fabric than a yard. So, and I can't do a 3-yard quilt with the fabrics that I picked, because I have too many light fabrics. So, it would, and the white that I want to use, it's the Christmas Barnyard, or Red Barn Christmas, I think it's what it's called, by Sweetwater. It's an old line of fabric, but I love it. I want to use the white print, kind of like a background, but I think all the patterns that I have found, it would probably be too busy. So that actually is going to have to be used as a piecing. But then the background that I have is stark white. That's the fabric I have on hand. I don't really want to have to go buy anything else. I'm trying to smash my stash. And, you know, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I'm finding patterns and things that will work with what I have. And just finding a pattern is, you know, half the fun. And then being creative and making something fun out of it. But I thought if I could get this one done, I think I am going to quilt this one myself, because I think I know how I want to quilt it. And I'm just hoping it won't be too big for me to quilt in my little tiny area that I have. You'll see I have to move stuff around a lot to sew here, which is fine. This is better than having it on my dining table, which is where I sewed for a very long time. I'm just happy to have a space that I can do it in. Because if my children were still at home, I'd still be on the dining table. Which would mean I'd have to put it up every single day. You know, I'd have to take it off the table and put it away every day after I got finished sewing. I had gotten sometimes where I didn't put stuff away, and we just had to make do with what space we had. Because my very first quilt was made on my dining table. And that was just a year ago. So there has been a lot of progress in the last year in my sewing space. And I'm very happy about that. Is my space perfect? Absolutely not. But it's nice to have any space at all. Because, you know, I know a lot of people don't have a sew. Ouch! I just poked that right in my finger. That's why I don't pin so much. So 1 second, let me go Band-Aid up so I don't get this everywhere. Okay, well, I think it decided to be okay. Just gonna have to watch it. What I was trying to do was get my fabric up so it wasn't pulling so hard down here on me. But anyway, I am just going to work on this and try to get this done today. That is a goal today, is to be done with my top, my Silverstone top. And that way we can move to something else that we want to work on. And I know in this past week y'all have seen my disappearing 4-patch. That should only be a couple videos, 2 or 3 maybe. Shouldn't be too many. Because that is a a pretty quick pattern to be able to work. And it's fairly easy to work with as well. So that's going to be a nice pattern to work with. I really do like that pattern. And I can see that being really easy to work with if you've got a solid charm pack and then a print charm pack. That would be really easy to work with, really fun to work with. And right now, that's what I'm trying to do, is find a lot of patterns that are real easy to work with. I received one in my email yesterday, and it was a free pattern for so many days. You could download it. By the time you see this video, that number of days is probably going to be gone. But it's a very pretty pattern, and I thought about trying to use that pattern with my Red Barn Christmas fabric, but it won't work because I don't have a dark color that would really work with it. I'm trying to get a lot of these strings off of this. Well, there is a lot of strings here, isn't it? This pattern was free, and I don't have a dark color that I need to work on the pattern, because it's got a detail in it that has like a different dark color, solid color. I don't think it has to be a solid. Actually, I know it don't have to be a solid, but it's just not going to work. So I want to make this pattern, and I am going to make this pattern. It calls for 5 fat quarters, and I think 2 or 3 things of yardage, more than a yard each. So that kind of messes with my Red Barn Christmas fabric, because I only got like 1 yard of several of the pieces. Now, a couple of the pieces I did get more than 1 yard, but it's going to be hard to use the cream colored background fabric that has the wording on it. It's going to be hard to use that. In just about any pattern. I was thinking that could be a background, but I think it would make it too busy if it was a background fabric. But anyway, I'll find something to work on that with, even if I have to go get another fabric. I mean, I have found a pattern that I think I can use it with, but I need another fabric, and I'll probably need more fabric. Even though I have 5 pieces, several of them are only 1 yard, but several of them are more than a yard. Y'all, that dual foot control, I should have realized when it wasn't pulling through properly, something was going on there. If I don't have that down, it does not feed properly. I guess because I've gotten used to how it feeds with that dual control, it's just like butter if it's down. Okay, so now I have that row put on. So now it's time to go to the next row. And I know I had said last time I was going to take this top one off, and then I'd have it done by this time. I didn't get it done. If y'all been watching me, y'all seen I had a rough week not not this past week, but week before, I had a rough week. So it didn't happen, which is okay. Life goes on. It continues. We're still having fun sewing. I love sitting down at my sewing machine and being able to create something. Anything. It don't matter what it is. Anything. But being that since I've gotten into making the quilts, I really do enjoy making quilt tops. And my long armor, I'm sure, really enjoys me making quilt tops, because I don't really try to quilt my quilts, but I think I made this one because I have an idea of this one. But I'm about to have several that has to go to my long armor. So, you know, I don't want to send too many to her. I think one time I had like 3 go to her at the same time, which was fine, you know. I don't mind giving my long armor business. But they had sit here and I was like, no, I'm going to do them. I'm going to try to get them done. But then I just decided anything over a certain size goes to my long armor. Because this right here, what you see, is about the width. Y'all see this right here? Let me show you this. That's my computer desk. That's how close I am to it. It's a very small room here that I am in. And it is very hard to... Oh, that strip is a lot wider than this one. Well, we'll still try to center it. Make it look okay. And you know, the holidays are about to be coming up. I'm so ready for fall, and when fall gets here, that means winter is right around the corner. I'm going to enjoy Christmas season. I think in one of my previous videos, I talked to you about how my sister and I are so different. If she's going to do a project, it's not going to be a Christmas project because she's not really a Christmas person. She likes the colors and stuff of Halloween. And I like the cheerfulness and all that of Christmas. I just love it. And my sister, she decorates her house at Halloween for the Raven. You know, the Edgar Allan Poe story. I guess it's what it was, the Raven. And she decorates her house in that for Halloween. She's got like a black crow or something that she puts out. And that time of year, you know, we like to have weenie roasts and cookouts and things like that. But now that, you know, she's had her health stuff go on and she's doing really good with it, they don't really have those anymore. But I'm hoping we do something this fall, because most of us is kind of on the same thought path now, what we need to do with, you know, how we eat and stuff, and we're all doing better. Our whole family is trying to do better. You know, because we've realized if we don't keep checking on our own health, we're going to be checking out. And I don't think any of us want to do that too soon. You know, we're enjoying life here. Me, of course, those two grandbabies. Got one that's almost a year old. That is, well, 2 almost that's a year old. I have one that'll be a year old this month and one that'll be a year old in December. So, And the one that'll be a year old in December, his mama will be 25 in December, I think. What is this year? I have to think, what is this year? But yeah, she'll be 25 in December. So that's my little grandson. His mama will be 25 in December, and he was born a week to the day before her birthday. And yeah, I'm going to have to get me a foot pedal holder, because my foot pedal decides it wants to walk under my machine. Trying to keep my fabrics together there. I'm definitely not going to grab this fabric again and try to move it like I did earlier. I don't want to stick another pin up in my thumb like I did. That hurt. Oh, and I do want to respond to, I've received several messages from several different subscribers that talk about my color selections. Y'all, I'm really not that good. This is a charm pack. So it's a thing. My grandma's scrap quilt is actually a fat quarter bundle. It's called Fresh Fig Favorites. So, you know, that's a fat quarter bundle, all from the same line, you know, so I didn't have to pick any of that out. I'm really not that good at picking colors out. That's why I do like fat quarter bundles, because they got all the colors that match together. Now, sometimes I can throw, you know, if they're from the same designer, a lot of times they will match. Sometimes I'll do that. But my color combinations, my biggest goal on those is to not have two of the same color side by side. So anybody can do the color thing. I don't have a secret to it. There's nothing major that I do. I just get a fat quarter bundle and use fat quarter bundles. Now, I am, this pattern that I want to do, like I said, it calls for 5 fat quarters. I may be trying to do that with just some stray fat quarter bundles that I have, or fat quarters that I have. But I do have that fat quarter bundle. I have 10 fat quarters left from the Grandma's Scrap Quilts. I used 2 fat quarter bundles for that, minus 10 fat quarters. So I only need 5 to do this quilt that I want to do, but I do need something that's more of a solid, and I'll need like 1.5 yards or something like that of it. And then I'll need background fabric. But I thought I only think I had 1 orange fat quarter left out of that. So that wouldn't do good. I was thinking I could do a fall looking with the black and the orange, but I don't think I have enough to do that. Why does this look so far down? So I'm not quite sure, but I want to make this pattern. I really do. I really like this pattern. It's very pretty, and it was free. So, and when I go to make it, I will include the pattern link in the description. I don't know if this is like something I signed up for a newsletter for and I get it and they give free patterns ever so often. But I will include the link in there for you. So you can see if it's still a free pattern, or if you can sign up for the newsletter if you want the pattern. You can do that. I'm definitely going to have to press this, but I'm not going to do it right now. And I want to thank everyone that has been joining along in the Silverstone sew along. Make sure to be putting your photos in the Facebook group. That way you can be included in the giveaway that I will be doing for my sew along. And it's going to be for participants doing the Silverstone. So if you're doing the Silverstone, just take a snapshot in the Facebook group, which there is a link at the bottom in the description of the video here. There is a post. It's always tagged at the top as a featured post. You can always click that. And make sure to put a photo under that post. When you go to comment, on the left-hand side of your screen, there's going to be a little arrow or 3 dots or something where you can attach a photo. Just click that, attach your photo in your comment, and that way you will be put in to the drawing. What I'm going to do is just anyone that is sewing along with me and puts their photos in there, you will be added in there. You don't have to be a subscriber to my YouTube channel or anything like that, but I would appreciate it if you take the time out, subscribe, click on that notification bell. I do release a video generally every day at 5 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, I have them released at 9 a.m. So for those that like to sew all day on Saturday or Sunday, it's released early enough. They can start their day off with probably about an hour of sewing. Normally, I try to do about an hour video. Sometimes I make it. Sometimes it's a little longer. Sometimes it's a little less. It don't really matter, whichever it is. You don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. You can sit and just listen to me while you sew if you want to. I do that a lot. I really do that a lot. I listen to a lot of lives while my computer is right here. I record on my cell phone. I'll be exporting on my cell phone and charging it at the same time. Y'all, I'm going to kind of tell you my process here. I'll record, and then I'll go to import it, and it takes a long time here. You know, I don't, it could be where I live. It could be, you know, all the above stuff that just really affects it. I wonder if this would be long enough if I just added one of these sashings to the side to it. Let me just see. Oh, that's got to go. But what I'll do is I'll record and I'll import it, and then I'll start editing while I'm listening to a live. Boy, that was off, wasn't it? That one was. Huh. I think I can add that sashing to it. I have a piece of sashing here that I think I can add to this. Gonna pin this because I'm going to add to this sashing that I have. And I had a couple extra pieces of sashing, and that's probably what happened. I might have cut more than I should have. And but it's okay. I mean, everything is fixable. You know, things are fixable. This just shows you. And what I'm doing down here, I have my little marking tool, and I have my marking pen, because I do mark my diagonals just so I'm a little more accurate, because if I don't mark my diagonals, I'm not accurate at all. At all. I'm all over the place. And that is okay with me. I don't mind adding a little extra just to make sure I'm doing it correctly. I mean, y'all know I don't stress over it all. I just don't. Oh, I can't. My tray's in the way. But y'all can see what I'm doing now. All I do is just mark that diagonal there. And this is what you do when you have a small space. You just do. You make do with what you got and how you can do, and it'll work out. So I'm just adding this little piece of sashing since I didn't need this. Okay, I got that there. So I'm still going to use my little marking tool, and I'm going to show you, well, you may not see how I do it, but what I will do, see where my little, it's under here. I have my little rotating mat right here. I'll try to lay it up here where you can see. You may not be able to see real well. Let me get my sashing. Make sure that when I cut, yes, except they may be going different, they're going different directions, but I don't care. I will put my marking tool right on that stitch line. Get my rotating cutter and just trim that off. Let me press this so I can attach. Okay, so now I have my sashing just a little bit longer. And I can pull this piece out and put this piece back down. See, we grabbing as we can. Now, I know I have to have sashing on the top and bottom of each piece. So that means I need 2 more pieces of sashing, which is probably going to mean I'm not going to have enough. I don't know how I got that wrong, because I thought, I don't know, I think when I got this, I just got a certain amount, and I probably actually need a little more, and they may not even have this color. If they don't, it's just going to be small, which will be fine with me. Okay, now one of my viewers has suggested that I pin the end. And I know this. I know this, y'all. I know this. That's the bad thing with me on sewing. I know this. I know this to make it so much easier. To pin the ends and then pin the center. And if my sashing needs to have a little more give, it helps, which I think my sashing is going to be a little bit, because it's not a certain length, so I'm not going to do that. I was going to do that, but I'm not going to do that now, because I just thought about that. I added that extra on it, so it's probably going to be a little long, and I don't want to have to, but I know if I have a measured out sashing, that if I measure it, say 32 inches, and I know that's exactly what I've got cut, then yes, I would do that. But these aren't measured out, so I'm not going to do that, because the sashing is very likely going to be a little bit longer than my row. And I'm cutting my little dog ear off my sashing here, trying to make sure I'm staying even as possible. We're going to be even Steven today. Just get this sashing on. Get it up there. Make sure I'm staying even on this edge, and I'm on that 1/4 of an inch. And you notice I'm leaving my hand there. That's how far I know I've evened it up And I know it's good. It's good to go. Because I'll move my hand because I know I'm good down here. Just watching it on that 1/4 of an inch, getting that done. Now, when I come to the other sashings, I make sure they're turned the correct direction. And I think I was doing some in and some out to help nest them. But, you know, that just kind of went to the wayside, which is okay. We're good with that. It works. Whatever works. And is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. We already know that it's not going to be perfect. But I'm not perfect, and you know what? I'm happy with that. We're good. My motto with quilting is all about it being done, not perfect. Okay, I'm pulling my mic off and dropping it on the floor and everything else here. So, oh goodness. Having to get us resituated here. But we're going about 50 minutes right now. Some of that, of course, will be edited because I left you guys a running while I had to go doctor on my finger where I poked it with a pen. Now, I just noticed that actually the sashing is short. So it would have done good had I pinned it, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what's going on here. It's less than 1/4 of an inch, so I'm not going to worry over it. But now that we have this done, let's attach this piece to our large piece. And I know this is not how they show how to do this. But you know what? It's your quilt. You do it how you want to do it. I can see the progression of it if I keep doing this. So I'm going to keep doing this because I feel like I'm getting something done. And if you're like me and just have to be able to see that, sometimes you just have to do that because otherwise you may not see your progress. So what I'm going to do is get my pieces turned here where I can pin my sashings together. And I know I did have someone comment about they don't pin their sashings or something. I can't remember. I don't think it was on this video, but I don't know. There's something very satisfying to me about pinning my sashings on this one because, you know, it just feels like it's going to come out better than if I just sew it. Because I just sewed the first two together. They didn't match up. So I'm making sure my sashings at least match up. And I have seen another quilter that, and she's not a new quilter. She's got a channel and a very good channel, and I like watching her too, but she says she does not like doing sashings. And, you know, everyone has their preference of what they like to do and not do, and that's understandable. Some people don't like sashings. Some people can probably sew and their sashings come out perfect, and when they put rows together, they probably come out perfect. That's not mine. Not mine at all. But, and that's why I don't mind pinning my sashings, you know, I don't mind, because if I do take the time, you know, to sew it, and, because we all know making a quilt is an investment. It's an investment of your money, your time, the time to learn the skill, because I'm still not skilled yet, but I love doing this, and I love learning how to do this. And I mean, I think I have a few skills. A few. But right now, all I'm doing is just matching those sashings up and just pinning it. Because I'm matching the sashing and the top edge also. I've got one more sashing here to match up. Uh-oh. That one did not catch right there. So, this is something that I'm going to show y'all that I do. If I have something like this happen, and I don't know how it didn't catch. I do know how it didn't catch it. It's got a longer piece of fabric right there. What I'm going to do is just, where it's even up here, I'm just going to take a few of those stitches out right there. And then right here, because my sashing right here is lower than this piece, I'm going to take a few out here. And what I will do is, well, it's not letting go. Okay, I'm going to run my seam ripper here just to loosen these stitches back to where this piece was even. What I'm going to do, get it out from under my machine there. And this was the last sashing. So how about that, y'all? You can get to that very last one. I'm going to turn it to where I can see that sashing there. And I'm actually going to pin the fabric on both sides. And I probably do. I remember sewing over this one thinking, it's not going to catch that. It's not going to catch that. And it didn't catch it. Sometimes when you put fabrics together, they just, one piece is longer than the other. And if you've been quilting for any length of time, you know that happens when you piece things together. It don't matter if they're cut the same size or whatever. Sometimes that just happens. It's by the stretch of the fabric or something. Sometimes it just happens. But you know what? If that does happen, just put it back on your machine and stitch it back up. You know, find where you want it to meet at. And see, I'm done with that already. I do not know why that string wants to pull way out there like that, but I keep having to trim it and put it up there. But anyway, so now all I have to do is match. Oh, that's the big long piece. Ooh, I better watch out with them pins. I'll be poking myself again, y'all. So now what we're going to do is, see, it's caught now. It's good and caught. I will have to clean up some of these threads. I've got so many threads all over everything here that I'm going to have to clean that up for sure. But now when I pull this up here, I can, it's easier for me to see it if it's this direction. Have a pair of scissors about to fall off the back of my table there that I can't reach. But what I'm going to do is just fold this up here and match these up. And then I am ready to sew this row on. And this may be all we get. Oops, I just popped a pin off and knocked my scissors down. So I'm going to repin this and sew this last row on. That looks like that's all we're going to get done today, y'all, because we're almost at an hour already. It doesn't seem like it. Does not seem like I've already sewn for an hour. But what I'm going to do is just go on and match up these ends right here. Get them under that needle. And we're just going to sew this on up at that 1/4 inch. And make sure we're staying straight and we're catching both pieces of fabric there. Yeah, and I love this line of fabric. Once again, this is Corey Yoder's Starberry. Beautiful line of Christmas fabric. Beautiful, beautiful. I love this. I love the muted greens. I love the reds. It's just very beautiful. I love this. Uh-oh. I must have been going too fast. My thread broke. So let's get this up. See what we can do here. I don't know what happened there, but let me cut that bottom off. Cut that bottom thread. So now that I have to redo this, you can't see this side, but on my lever up here, I have to get the thread out. I make sure my foot is up. And then I just, of course, this is an automatic threader. Thank goodness, because there's no way I would see this to do it. And that's it. That's all I have to do. So now let's get this back under that needle. And I know there was no tension on there that would have caused that to have popped like that. So making sure our fabrics are even here. Now here's another place that I see I have one of my squares that sticks out further than the piece next to it, the sashing. What I do is I line the sashing up. I make sure because I don't want it to not catch it underneath it. I let it gradually work its way to the edge. That way it won't create any kind of puckering or puffing or anything like that in it. And let's face it, I don't know anybody that can be spot on fabric all the time. I mean, if they are just amazing, and I'm so happy for them. That's not me. I wish it was, but I'm getting a notice that my bobbin is running out. I just put a new bobbin in this thing. It shouldn't be running out. Well, it is showing me I got a low bobbin. So we're going to sew as much as we can until it just stops. And y'all, look at this. I mean, some days it just happens this way. Some days your thread breaks, your bobbin runs. Yep, my bobbin ran out. Some days that just happens. So guys, I'm actually just going to go on and end it here. It's not a a big thing. Oh my goodness, my thread won't let go. I'm going to let you go right here. I'm just going to go on, and once I do my bobbin, I'm going to finish putting this on and press it. And hopefully this time I'm able to take that first row off and able to reattach it and try to get it pressed out good. But I don't know. I may have another. It looks like I do have another piece that I need to sash. I'll try to go in and get that done as everything's uploading here. But y'all leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I really do appreciate each and every one of you joining me working on this Silverstone. I believe this is probably going to be the last video for me for the Silverstone, unless I quilt it. I may quilt it on with you guys. So leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.